So one of the final things we want to talk about in this first lecture in terms of supercharging your life, really boosting your level of healthy living, awesome living, whatever you want to call it. One thing that's really been an impact on both mine and Alex's life, which hasn't always been present in our life, is self-esteem and self-worth. And so we just want to kind of explore this topic for you and why that is so important. We look around and we see people with high levels of self-esteem, that inner confidence, when they really just appreciate themselves and love themselves and very comfortable in their own body and having things in their life and living a great life. But do you really feel like you deserve that too? Do you feel like you can have that? Do you feel like you have that self-worth, that high level of worth? Well, in reality, I mean, we hear it all the time, and people are like, and maybe in a church or maybe in just life in general, maybe it's your mom or your brother saying, you deserve that, or you should love yourself more, or you should be happier, or you should have this. It's all great knowing that we should have a high level of self-esteem. We should be confident. We should have a high level of self-worth. But how do we get that, and why is it so important, okay? We look up to people who have high levels of self-worth. Whether it's your boss in that situation, they carry themselves highly. They might look at you differently, but we look up to people with high self-worth. When we appreciate ourselves more, we have more to give to other people. When we're comfortable in our own body, when we're happy in our own body, we take that with us to every interaction, okay? So when we're in interaction with people, we're not needing anything. We don't need something from somebody else. We have it already. So when we're in a conversation with somebody else, we're only focused on them. Okay, so how do we go about and get self-worth? It comes down to one thing, and it comes down to appreciation, okay? Appreciation for me determines self-worth. What can I see in myself that I like? Whether it's how I behave, whether it's how I think, whether it's how I act, whether it's something I've contributed, something I've created. There's always something. Now, one thing that makes this incredibly hard is who and what we're comparing to. If we're looking up at what the media is putting in front of us as someone who is perfect, someone who should have self-worth, it's going to be hard for us to match that image. But if we look around and actually realize the reality of things, number one, to find a situation, we have to see it for what it really is. Okay, and when I say that is, one thing I always look at a statistic, you've got, half the world living off less than $3 a day. That alone makes you find appreciation. But in regards to self-worth, what about so many people in the world that would love to be where you are today? Think about it. Maybe it's your looks. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's just having a family or a home. Maybe it's your personality. Maybe it's your ability to pick up the phone and call someone. There's somebody who just doesn't have that level of confidence. Once you start identifying it, when you start recognizing it within yourself, you begin to appreciate it. And one thing I heard from Dave Martin, he says, whatever we recognize, we become thankful for. And what we can become thankful for grows. So just take time just to think about a few things in your life that you really haven't been appreciating, that you haven't been recognizing, but that are a reality that should increase your self-worth. Because once you recognize that, it will grow, and you will realize the difference, and people will realize the difference within you, okay? So self-worth, 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 okay? Find appreciation in who you are, and your self-worth will grow.